What's up, everybody? Matt Gajewski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel. And today we're talking some college football prize picks ahead of week 8. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all other content goes live. Of course, we are brought to you by PrizePicks. $100 first match deposit bonus for new users, and you're getting a free month of Stochastic Plus. We have all sorts of tools in the college football package. We have college football projections. You can use those directly to cross-reference against PrizePicks. But that's not all they have. They have NFL. They have MLB, which is in the playoffs. NBA is soon to return. NHL just got started. Ton of niche sports. So make sure you check them out. Get that free $100. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 to play. But let's take a look at the board. We're going to do 6 today. And I think you can mix and match these in fives and pairs, however you want to play them. Got them all listed up at the top, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. Week 8, it's pretty greasy. You're probably going to see that first and foremost with the first one on deck, which is a Luke Altmyer passing over. Yes. How gross is that? We are targeting a game with a 41.5 total. It's a 2-point spread in favor of Wisconsin. But I think this is a sneaky over spot. I'm not going to lie to you. Wisconsin's 39th in pace. Illinois is 17th. That's really fast offenses lining up against each other. Now, Wisconsin did lose their quarterback. Maybe they slow it a little bit, but Illinois is still playing really fast. They're passing 55% of the time. Altmyer is averaging 223.5 yards per game, and they've already gone through some of the gauntlet of the Big Ten West, which is full of good defenses. Wisconsin's pretty serviceable on defense, but I think there's ways to beat this team. For reference, Georgia Southern was beating this team at halftime, had more yards. I mean, it came down to interceptions, what played them out of the game. And Wisconsin's coverage numbers look really skewed. I mean, they faced Deacon Hill last week. So, yeah, they look great on paper, but have they faced competent offensive play? My argument is no. Most of the offenses that they face have not been competent. And the ones that have been, I mean, Washington State, Georgia Southern, yeah, they've been able to move the ball on Wisconsin. So, Luke Altmyer, Illinois, probably a cut below some of those teams, but still should have no problem moving the ball. We project this closer to 220, so we are going to go over on Luke Altmyer's passing prop. Second one, I promise we're not only doing greasing games, but we're going to hit LaShawn Williams, Iowa running back, over 62.5 rush yards. As we just talked about, Iowa lost their starting quarterback, Cade McNamara, and they moved to Deacon Hill. This team is 100th in pace. They only pass 42% of the time. That number has dropped even further with Deacon Hill under center. He's averaging 11 attempts per game. That's not a joke. Now, with the exclamation point crazy run game, this team last week gave LaShawn Williams 24 carries. They gave Caleb Johnson 17. Deacon Hill had 2 design attempts himself, and then receivers had another 3. We're talking about 47 designed rush attempts for the offense. And LaShawn Williams had half of them. I don't care if this guy runs into a brick wall every single play. If he carries the ball 24 times, he is going over 62.5 rushing yards. There's just no way about it. And then we look at the matchup. Yeah, the total's really, really low, historically low, 31.5. Like, this is the lowest total of the last 20 years, and that's not an exaggeration. Minnesota's still allowing 4.5 yards per carry. This defense isn't very good. Whether Minnesota knows the run is coming or not, I still think LaShawn Williams can go over this mark just based on volume alone. Mathematically, it doesn't add up. Third one, we're going over on Drake Stoops receiving yards. This one just comes down to a light projection. After Oklahoma lost Angel Anthony, unfortunately, really dynamic player for the offense, but he's out for the year. So now there's 2 things we know. We know that Drake Stoops is going to play a ton, and now his target share should rise. Angel Anthony vacates a 17% target share. Stoops actually leads the team with an 18% target share. He's averaging 45 yards per game, but now we vacate 419 yards. It's the team's leading receiver who's gone. That's 5.8 targets per game. Drake Stoops hasn't seen fewer than 6 in any game so far this year. And Oklahoma has a 42-point implied team total. This team, 18-point favorites over UCF in a game with a 66.5 total. Both of these teams are top 26 in pace. UCF is 26th. Oklahoma is 21st. We know that Drake Stoops and Jaleel Farouk are full-time receivers. We don't know beyond that. And we know these two are the main players that are going to command targets from Dylan Gabriel. I actually like Stoops. I think you could go to fantasy score as well if you're a little worried. He makes more sense in like PPR formats because he gets a ton of catches operating as the underneath receiver. But I still think you can get to the receiving yardage over. It projects as a value for us at 63.5. Next one, Kobe Hudson, same game. So everything we just mentioned. Game environment is excellent here. UCF should have to pass a little bit more because they are 18-point underdogs. John Rice Plumlee returning helps the passing efficiency of the offense. But Javon Baker, Kobe Hudson, we actually show value on both of their overs. Some people may be scared off by Kobe Hudson having target counts of 2 and 1 in their last 2 games. His routes haven't changed. He actually leads the team in routes, 87% route share. The guy's never coming off the field. He's averaging 83 yards per game, and that includes those 2 duds he had recently where Rice Plumlee was out. Just a very strong buy low. Even if Oklahoma handles UCF in this game, they'll be playing from behind, throwing quite a bit. This is when we project closer to 55. The biggest question for me on this entire card, does Jermaine Burton catch a 60-yard touchdown? Because you look at Jermaine Burton's volume. The guy has 19 targets this year. 19 targets. His over-under is 59.5. This whole prop comes down to, does Jermaine Burton catch 1 or 2 long balls? Because, man, he's been really fortunate on his long balls this year. He's averaging 23.5 yards per reception. Middle Tennessee State, 3 catches, 62 yards. That's 21 yards per catch. Texas, only 2 catches, 58 yards, 29 yards per reception. South Florida, he only caught 1 for 7. Ole Miss, 2 catches, 62 yards. Texas A&M, he balled out, 9 catches, 197. But last week, Arkansas, 2 catches, 60 yards. This guy's not a full-time player. His route rate is 65% this year. He only has 1 game above 3 targets all season long, averaging 4 per game on the back of a 12-target performance in their second most recent contest. I mean, Tennessee plays good defense. They're only allowing 5.8 yards per pass attempt, 3.1 yards per carry, so they're good across the board. Their defensive line is excellent. The Alabama O-line is a mess. They're going to pressure Jalen Milroe. And then last thing I'll come down to, Jalen Milroe is only throwing 22 times per game. Like, how many targets is Jermaine Burton going to project for on the slate? It's barely 3. It's a really greasy under because he can literally burn you on 1 catch. He's done it in most of his games this year. But against a better defense in Tennessee, we'll take the under, plug our nose, and go for it here. Last one, I only added this 6th one because it's a promo, but more of a feel-based than a projection-based. We actually don't show a lot of value on this prop projection-wise. So honestly, you want to cut out and add 5, I think that's fine. You get your flex play. 20 turns into 200. That's if you hit all 5. You can also hit 4, get 2x, or 3. Gives you some money back. But I like this Judkins number situationally. 89.5. We'll include it here. You look at Judkins. He's been banged up a lot of this year for Ole Miss. He's since returned. Last 2 games that they've played, he's handled carry counts of 33 and 18. So, yeah, the 2 prior games, 13 and 13, the guy was banged up. Now he's back. They just came off a bye. He should be even healthier. Auburn's defense is allowing 4.8 yards per carry. That's nearly 5 yards per attempt. I know the projection's not ideal here, but, I mean, situationally, I think this is one we can get to. I wanted to include it, give you guys a 6th one. Whether you play or not, that's up to you. But, yeah, this will be the card. Take advantage of PrizePicks. Get that $100. Link is in the video description below. We'll be back again next week. If you have a question or a comment, please leave it in the comment section. You can also reach out on Twitter at Matt_Gajewski. Easy to reach me there. Otherwise, good luck, everybody. We'll see you again next week.